Well, hey, New Life family. Thanks so much for continuing this spiritual journey with us as we grow together in this fall series titled Steps. Now, last week, Pastor Dave kicked off this series with the word connect. And he led us into this discussion with the importance of not only connecting with God, but also connecting with each other as well. Because here is the bottom line. We need each other. We were never expected to go through life alone. As a matter of fact, God says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, that it's not good for man to be alone. And he wasn't talking about just man, but all of humanity. Well, this week, we're going to dive just a little bit deeper as we discover what it means to engage. And the big idea for this word is engage is that we believe that we were designed by God to live as a faith family together. So first, let me roughly set it up a little by talking about gears and the influence it has with this week's subject of engage. Now, when you think of the word engage this week, I want you to think of it like the teeth of gears, okay? And how the teeth fit perfectly together, causing whatever the machine it is that you're working on to work properly. If you're familiar with the gears of a vehicle or a boat or any other type of machine, you know that each gear has its own individual function and purpose. And when something is in the wrong gear, that vehicle or machine will let you know rather quickly that something is off, right? Well, we also know that there's a sweet spot between the gears that makes the transition much smoother. If it's a vehicle, you can watch your RPMs or even feel or hear when it's time to shift gears. And then once you get into that nice, smooth, fast pace and that speed, and you're in that last gear, your machine or your vehicle has the ability to just purr, kind of like a kitten, right? Well, your spiritual life is the exact same. And if your spiritual life is out of balance or in the wrong gear, it will bleed into your other relationships and how you engage with God and with others. Now, let's quickly review what each one of these gears are and what your life should or could look like when you're in each one of these gears, okay? First gear. First gear is you're taking off gear. You're fully at rest and just beginning to take off. Now, the goal is for you not to stay in this gear for very long because it's a slower gear that's really only meant for you to get into the next gear, okay? In your spiritual life, this could mean when you first make that decision to follow Jesus. Jesus accepts you just the way you are, but wants you to quickly begin making changes in your life. Second gear. This is the telling gear, okay? This is when you begin telling important people around you, specifically family or your friends, that you're different. And you've made a new and fresh commitment to begin living a life that models the life of Christ. And this is also the gear that you should begin taking classes like the one that we offer here for new believers called Getting Started. Third gear. Third gear is the discovery gear, okay? Third gear is when you begin to really nestle into engagement. In other words, you begin proactively looking for ways to better connect with others here at New Life. You're asking questions, you're signing up for the next baptism class, if you're a parent, you want to participate in dedicating your children to God. You embrace this deeper meaning of communion. You want to serve on a volunteer team or sign up to join a life group like the one that you're in now. And then you slide into what is fourth gear, okay? Fourth gear is your momentum gear. Fourth gear is where you begin feeling the momentum shift in your spiritual journey with God and begin sort of working and multitasking the different areas of the previous three gears of faith engagement. You begin to place it into kind of a smoother order for your life. And then there's fifth gear. This is the in the zone gear. This gear is when you are fully focused and in the zone. You have this regimented prayer time. You spend quality time reading and studying scripture. You're in a life group or maybe even leading a life group. You're leading your family spiritually. You've been water baptized. You're serving on a volunteer team. You've even made a financial commitment to surrender over to God a portion or percentage with what He's entrusted to you. And by the way, this is called a surrender of your time, your talents, and your treasure. Now, if you're not in gear 5, totally okay. Our prayer is that you get there or work your way towards getting there, and it's not going to happen overnight. You can get there if you want to. You can actually begin getting connected and engaged in gear 1, but it takes intentionality. You have to make the decision to get to the next gear. No matter what gear you're in now, you have to get there on purpose. You'll never accidentally slip into the next gear. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 22 through 25 says this. So let's do it. I love that language. Let's do this. Full of belief, confident that we're presentable inside and out. Let's keep a firm grip on the promises that keeps us going. He always keeps his word, talking about Jesus. Let's see how inventive we can be in encouraging love and helping out, not avoiding worshiping together as some do, but spurring each other on, especially as we see the big day approaching. Translation, we're in this together. So let's not do this thing called life alone, but let's engage with one another to help each other out. If you use these gears consistently, it has the potential to bring a whole new level of relational engagement to your life so you can better connect with others and eventually to God. All too often, people go through life without truly connecting or engaging with others. And as a result, you can miss out on experiences and relationships that have the power to bring you closer to each other and ultimately to God. So, what gear are you in? And what do you need to examine to bring you into a stronger relationship with God and others? Well, thanks for watching this week's message. At this time, your group leader is going to lead you in some discussion questions. We want you to have a great week, and we'll see you next time.